Hi, I'm Wolf Van Halen from Mammoth WVH, and you're watching Tell Us Rock.
Sitting here with Wolfgang Van Halen, or the first question I'm going to ask you, is it Van Halen or is it Van Halen? Because you know it seems to be like two different kind of camps, at least in Sweden.
I know that in where the name originates, it's Van Halen.
Van Halen?
Van Halen.
It's Dutch?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
But, you know, from America, it's just Van Halen.
So we can skip all the guys saying Van Halen. That's
yeah.
completely wrong.
No, it's a V.
Ah, that's good.
I don't know if there's a slightly different pronunciation in Dutch, but I've just known it as...
So we'll go with Van Halen.
Yeah, Van Halen.
Oh, I like that. So thanks for taking time and welcome to Sweden.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Man.
Is it the first time playing here in Sweden, or have you played it before?
If I have been here, it was a decade ago with Mark when I played in his solo band Tremonti. But if we hadn't been here, then yes, this is the first time. Certainly the first time with Mammoth, so it's very exciting.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be great. And let me just start with congratulating to a really great hit single again.
Thank you.
It's called When Do We Have, as Long As You're Not You, and it's been released quite recently, right?
Yeah, I think that just came out like a week or two ago.
Yeah, so are we, can we expect an album coming out soon as well, or?
Yeah, for these are actually, Talk and Walk came out right before it, and then on November 11th is when it's coming up. When we did like a digital deluxe edition of the first album, and it's got 3 extra tracks, As Long As You're Not You being one of them, and but for another full album of original material, I'm working on that too. I'm about halfway done with it.
Oh, that's amazing.
But have the tour, but then I'll go back home and finish it.
Yeah,
after.
Well, please do. So tour now, it's Alter Bridge, it's Mammoth, and it's Hailstorm. I mean, it must be feeling awesome to finally be able to go out playing live again since, the pandemic and everything.
Oh, for real. And it's also just really surreal because I'm out here with people I've been really good friends with for the last decade. Like I've known everyone in Hailstorm and Alter Bridge for a really long time. So it's a trip to actually be out and touring with them.
Yeah, well, we talked to Lizzie and Josh earlier, and they said that you even were doing some kind of, vocal thing on their first or second album.
Yeah, on their song "Here's to Us."
Yeah,
I was like I was part of the group vocal because I was just hanging out with them that day, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come in? Sure, why not?" So yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. So when you listen to music yourself today, what kind of music do you listen to then? I mean, that's super interesting to
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah.
I love Meshuggah.
Okay.
That's probably I don't know. I tend to listen to more at least recently more heavier music, but that's all the new stuff that's come out. Like Animals as Leaders had a new album come out this year, and so did Meshuggah. But Meshuggah is one of my favorite bands. I know it's nothing like Mammoth, but
well, it's quite far from Mammoth, definitely. But inspiration-wise, I mean, if you talk, where you get your inspiration from?
Well,
when you write the music and everything.
On the next album, there actually is some Meshuggah-inspired stuff.
Ah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be amazing.
Just through the lens of Mammoth, though, so it's a bit,
Okay.
not as super heavy, but yeah.
So this tour now, it's almost 6 weeks long.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you prepare for a tour like that?
You just sit, waiting, excited. Can we go yet? Yeah, but luckily I had time to kill because I was in the studio, so I really didn't have much time to really prepare. We didn't even play before we got over here. We only had 2 days of rehearsal once we got into Hamburg.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because just a couple of days ago the premiere was.
Yeah, we've only done 2 shows.
Yeah. And tonight it's gonna be Sweden.
Yeah, very excited.
It's gonna be great. When you write your songs and everything, how do you? Is it possible to explain how do you write a song? Do you start with the lyrics? Do you start with just sitting with the guitar or bass or drums or whatever? How do you?
Usually, most ideas for me originate with something on the guitar, like a riff or some sort of thing, and then from there, I kind of construct an idea around it, and then a melody, and then vocals, kind of in that order.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you realize that I could actually, make a living out being a rock star?
I've never really tried to do that. I just kind of make music that makes me happy, and if it happens to make other people happy and they enjoy it too, I'm lucky to be able to call that my job.
Oh, you are. So, what part of your career are you most proud of? I mean, this is like a solo project with Mammoth, and you've been playing with Van Halen as well.
I think Mammoth overall is where I hold most of my pride, because it's something I've built from scratch myself.
Yeah.
I'm honored to have taken part in everything I have taken part in throughout my entire career. But yeah, I think Mammoth is a thing I'm really proud of, being able to put it all together myself and play everything. I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah. We're gonna do a thing called getting nostalgic with.
Sure.
So, are you a nostalgic person?
Yes, very much.
Well, that's nice. This is gonna be fun then. Do you remember the first record that you bought for your own money? I mean, or it could be a cassette or a CD or whatever.
My babysitter at the time took me to Tower Records, which was great because it wasn't my mom, because my mom wouldn't let me buy certain records that were explicit, and I bought the explicit version of Enema of the State by Blink-182. That was one of the first things I bought, where I was like, ooh, and I snuck it onto my computer and was very proud of that.
Ah, great. Do you still have it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got it somewhere.
So, do you remember the first song you learned to play on an instrument?
An instrument? That's actually pretty funny, is that Enema of the State. When it comes to like drums, that was like one of my I had Van Halen Best of Volume 1, which is funny because they never did a second one. And Dad always liked that joke. And Enema of the State by Blink-182, and I just kind of learned those albums front and back. But technically the very first thing would be Highway to Hell by AC/DC on the drums.
Ah, okay.
That's kind of how I learned, yeah.
Yeah. So in school, grades, everything, were you like teacher's pet, or
no?
Were you,
I sucked.
You sucked.
Yeah, no, I was really only good at what I was interested in, which was nothing.
Oh, that's good to at least have an interest.
I got an A in astronomy because I like space and stuff like that, and I got an A in theater, in drama. But I don't know if I got an A in any other places. I wasn't like failing. I passed. I have a diploma, but it just wasn't my strong suit.
Oh, that's great. Do you remember the name of your first best friend?
I have a bunch that I'm still friends with today.
Yeah,
my friend Zach and Garrett I've known since kindergarten, and I still hang out with them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
They come to the shows as well, and
yeah. They came to last show they came to was the one at the Whiskey in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Do you remember your first party experience?
Party experience.
That could be, like.
Ooh, I don't even know. Maybe like graduation, high school graduation or something. Oh. I'm never really that crazy social. I'm a very anxious, sort of withdrawn person, so I was never really one of those partier guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to college, so I was never like a frat dude or anything.
Yeah. So we know that a lot of our viewers would like to know what is like backstage. I mean, this is not the sexiest room ever.
I mean, this is kind of, it's just
this is what it is.
It's the band that you're about to see just kind of hanging out there, shooting the shit, making jokes, and then they go, oh, what time is it? Okay. And then you go on stage and you play.
But it seems like when we talk to the all the bands and everything, it seems like you have a really good connection between all you guys.
It's a family, You're traveling together all the time on a big steel tube.
Yeah.
And you get to all collectively do what you love, which is to make music and entertain people, and it's a good time.
Are there a lot of pranks?
Occasionally, I think so. We're not that prank heavy. It's more just we're just really sarcastic with each other. Yeah. but yeah.
Any particular, prank that you know of that has happened that you can tell us about?
None that I could say.
Okay.
If I think of one, but no, I mean we're just very generally sarcastic dudes.
Oh,
just make each other laugh.
Oh, well, that's great. So thanks a lot for taking time.
Thank you.
And good luck with the rest of the tour. And we're looking forward for the new album as well.
Me too, man. I think you guys are going to dig it.